Oh, what's up, guys? A little bit of an impromptu video. I'm already into it, but we are swapping out the scales on my Litetech, keeping it red, but we've got the hole pattern here, and I'm going to swap it for the slotted pattern. So hopefully you guys can kind of see what I got going on. It's not like a super in-depth video, just more of a you and me figuring this out together. I've got some tools. So JK actually replied to me. I sent the video of the Litetech review or unboxing to him, and he liked that, and he let me know that the screws are actually titanium screws, which is why I probably stripped them. Titanium screws require a certain type of bit so that you don't strip them as easily. So he was very kind and sent me that bit when I ordered a bunch of stuff, actually. So that was really cool of him. But he also got new black screws put on his website, in part because I kind of prompted that. I was like, hey, can I buy some black ones? And he's like, you know what? I've been meaning to get some on there, and he got some put up on there. So I bought those new black screws. We're going to get those new screws installed so that I don't have stripped ones anymore, and I figured we'd put on the cool little slotted pattern G10. So I already got one side put on, and it was pretty easy. So now I'm going to pop out the pivot and get the other side put on. So always fun popping the pivot side out because each balisong is a little different. I am using the pivot tool that the Volp came with, and it's pretty good for pivot tool. It's just always tough getting these damn pivots out, in my opinion. Sometimes they don't like to get out, and I don't want to screw this up. So it might actually be easier if I take off the scale first. Another thing with the Litetech is that the body screws are a different size than the pivot screws, so you cannot interchange those. So you actually need to buy different body screws. And just to see the inner workings of the liner there's a cool little like cutouts, like that's like weight reduction, but that's what the scale looks like. So like, let's see if that's gonna help me get this pivot out any easier. I think I just wasn't quite getting the right pressure put on it. And no, it's not any easier. Just got to get that perfect alignment for it to pop. Doesn't want to get out there. Maybe if we do a little open close action, really does not want to come out. Damn it. Because yeah, you can't replace the scales without taking off the taking out that pivot. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this without totally breaking my balisong here, guys. Real-time action. Well, I'll just keep going at it. If this was a cheaper balisong, I'd be a little more abusive, but with it being so gosh darn expensive, and it's just kind of like, you know, these things add up. There we go. A little sliding action. So the way I got this off was just kind of wiggling the handle back and forth. And with, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about, with the channel balisongs, Chandwich balisongs, excuse me, or sandwich rather, because this isn't even Chandwich, this is sandwich. You're like trying to get everything pushed together, and they don't always want to align perfectly. And so to get the pivot tool through, I really needed to kind of just move the handle back and forth until this guy just kind of aligned up perfectly and wanted to slide out. So there you go. And when you're taking these apart, you want to make sure you've got the bit in there very squarely and then just very delicately, you know, get it out. If you're curious about the bit that's being used, it's an S2 bit, or at least that's what it says on the side of it. And I'm setting these screws down so that I know that they're the body screws. And so now this is just going to slide right off. We'll pop the new slotted scale on, which there's probably a small amount of weight, I imagine, added because it's not slotted. There's a little bit more material, so probably a very small amount of weight. I also got different, what does he call these ends? He calls those something else. I can't remember. It's super important. All right, so let's put the barrel back in. Hopefully we can just get this to slide straight through without trouble. All right, well, almost got it all the way in. There's just a little wiggling left to do. And yep, I can see there there we go. Got it. So we're gonna put the other slotted scale on here. Get that body screw. And when I'm putting these body screws back in, I'm not really torquing it down. I'm going pretty light. Here's the deal. If you over tighten them, you only risk stripping the screw. And you guys kind of saw me strip the screws in the unboxing, or the fake unboxing. I don't think I even did a full unboxing for it. I think I just showed it off and stuff and was a general idiot like I am in most of the videos. In any case, yeah, the number one reason why it's stripped was because I was using the wrong bit, okay? Using the right bit for the right screws is going to make a huge difference. If you've got titanium screws, you want to use the right bit. Now, I knew this about titanium screws. What I did not know was that the Litetech used titanium screws, and I probably should have just gone back to his post and read the specs. So that's on me for not knowing my balisong, and you guys get to learn with me on that. A cool trick that I learned from MachineWise when you're putting these screws back in, if you're having trouble getting the pivot to align, is you actually unscrew until you feel a little click, and you probably heard it there. And that little click is it aligning with the threads, and then you go and you tighten it. And again, don't want to over tighten on these. But yeah, when you hear that little like click, that's it setting in so that you don't get cross thread action. Cool. So that's not super tight yet, but look at that. Little crazy difference there. Not a super crazy difference, but it does feel grippier. I think partially because it's just new G10. But yeah, it feels nice. That slotted pattern might be the one that I keep. Buffness, I might be down to trade. I might be down to trade these red hole pattern scales for your black hole pattern. I just need a minute to decide on how much I like this. But so far, so good. All right, let's do the other side. Hopefully this is super entertaining for you guys. Probably a little bit more mellow than most of my other videos are. JK, if you are watching this far into the video by any chance, thank you for sending me the bit. That was really awesome of you. Obviously, I dropped, you know, a little bit of money on top of just the screws, so it's not like I only bought the screws. I bought a few things, but still, that was much appreciated, man, and just a cool dude for the community, so appreciate that. If anyone's wondering why I'm swapping the bit from side to side, so this is actually the glider bally driver, or whatever, bally tool. It's got one side for like torquing and breaking loose thread locker. It actually does a really good job at breaking loose thread locker. And then it's got this side for just like, you know, kind of finer general purpose is what it says here. It even says it right on there. So if you're wondering why I'm switching that, it's because to break the screw loose, I need a little bit more torque, and that action lets you get it torqued, but then I don't need as much, and you can spin quicker, you know, that way. So, All right, now we're gonna get the pivot out. And again, it seems like what I'm gonna have to do is wiggle a little bit. Now we've got this on the live side, so I'm gonna have to be careful as to not catch myself. And you can see that already came loose there. Nicely done, like a glove. Awesome, probably just screwed up that barrel pivot. JK, if you're watching, warranty that shit. No, I'm just kidding. I think we're okay. Okay. See, those are in there pretty good. They're nice and torqued, so we're going to make sure that's nice and flat. There we go. So as to not strip the screws. Awesome, awesome. Another thing from Glider is this bit holder that I'm using. So I've got the pivot tool from the Volp put into there, and that's holding the pivot tool. And the bit holder is really nice for those kinds of things, especially if you've got like the Kraken. The Kraken has doesn't use the barrel pivots. Shit. Oh golly. I fucked that up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up. Fucked it up. I fucked it up. Okay, there we go. Cool. So I think what I want to do first, actually, I do have to have that on. Cool. Well, that worked out as good as it could. Oh man, I'm already screwing up this G10, staining it. Something with G10 is it does take in liquids easily, so you're going to want to make sure you have clean hands if you're swapping this out, and I'm already seeing that I screwed that up slightly. And if you guys were curious what I fucked up, I didn't have the barrel in place when I took the pivot tool out, but that's why I was very delicately getting that back into place with a slight amount of panic, if I'm being honest. But we're good. All right, cool. That was a relatively easy swap out. I'm going to get the body screw back in on this scale and then put the pivot screw back in. The new pivot screw that's not stripped. I am not comfortable tuning ballasongs, guys. It's something that I need to get better at. I'm just scared of messing them up, frankly. And as we know, my collection's a little expensive. I got a little bit of price built up into this collection, so it makes it especially scary because I'm not trying to, ruin $1,000 ballasong. And like, I get it, like you're not gonna ruin it by just screwing up the pivot barrels or whatever, but there is a certain amount of no return on some of the stuff. Some of the stuff. Where did this one come from? Where did that one come from? We didn't put a body screw on that side. Cool. So now we're just going to tighten everything up and give this little puppy a whirl. I am contemplating swapping out the bolsters. That's what they're called. The bolsters. We got a couple different bolsters. Ooh, that's a little bit of a different feel. Nice. Look at that. All right, let me get this wiped off a little bit. Well, super spendiferous, guys. We got the scale swapped out. What do you think? Should I trade these with buffness? I know buffness is the answer is going to be yes, please trade me. I want red. I might do that, man. I might be down to do a little trade ski buffness so that I can get some black scales too. Because that'd be cool. So you're probably going to get a message before you even see this, homie. Yeah, awesome. So I've got these black spacers too that I might put a black one on the bite handle because I thought that might be kind of cool for like easy identification. But let's check out the bolsters. And I just realized I'm not wearing my pendant. Gosh, how lame of me. Let's get that on. So we've got polished bolsters and we've got black bolsters. Let's check out the polished bolsters. Let's get these dirty. So he kindly taped these, which a little frustrating, but at the same time he taped them so that they weren't banging around in there. So I can appreciate that because that keeps them a little more polished in appearance. Cool. So same thing, we're gonna switch to the driver. And I think what we'll do is we'll do one side. So this is the show side. That wasn't quite in there, there we go. Awesome, maybe I can get that from there. Can we? I gotta say the construction on this is really cool. So again, you could probably like fill that with some shit and get it more weighed down. Probably not. There's probably not enough space in there. I don't know if that's the intent either. But you can see this bolster, there's like a little nib there, and that's got like a little cut there. I'm sure that's showing up on camera. So that way you only have to do one screw to get it to pop in here. And it kind of just stays in place, which is nifty. Wow, that polished gives it a much different look. Definitely a bit of a contrast with the black. Nice. Whoa, look at that. Dang. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. Let's do the other one, and then I think we're going to end this video after I swap out the other polished one. I don't know if I'm going to do all four polished right now, but that gives it some interesting contrast. Another thing, in the other video, I had said that there's no like weights for this, and again, like there's not really weights for this, but if I were to put the G10 bolsters in instead of these titanium bolsters, the titanium bolsters do weigh slightly more. And so these ones are just the darkened titanium, and these are polished titanium here. He also has some anodized titanium options, as well as a few different color G10 options. So yeah, the G10 offers like a few points of a gram difference. I think it's like 0.4 versus 0.2 sort of thing. I'd have to look it up right now. And I don't feel like looking it up right now. I feel like swapping this out. This was relatively easy. Yeah, anyone who owns a Litetech who's thinking about buying some parts and swapping things out, I mean, folks, you saw me struggle slightly getting the bolsters out, but that was not hard. It was just, you know, my lack of experience taking balisongs apart more than anything, I would say. So cranking that down. Cool. Yeah. Well, Buffness, expect a message from me in the past because we're watching this in the future. And otherwise, let's take this little guy for a quick whirl while we're here. I'm going to stay seated because I don't even know how this looks. Wow. You know I had to fan it. Man, those polished bolsters though. What do you guys think? Slotted, keep the polished, swap it back for the blackened. I mean, the blackened obviously gives some more consistency for the blade look. But those polished bolsters definitely add like a different look to it. I think I like the slotted more. I feel like it has a little bit of a better grip for the slotted bolsters, especially because I do those fixed ladders quite a bit. Yeah, this is sick. Dude, hell yeah. Still a little bit of wiggle there that I'm gonna have to get figured out. Does that mean that I have oversized bushings when it wiggles like this? Is that oversized bushings? I think that's just slightly oversized bushings, right? I don't know how to tune, so you guys tell me. Anyways, what do you guys think of the Litetech with the new bolsters? Or, yeah, I guess new bolsters and new scales. And should I swap out the scales for all of it on the polish? Or should I do... Well, fuck it, we can just do the polish right now. Or should we do the G10? Should we just do it all right now? Come here, you little bastard. Okay. Right when I said I don't want the video to be that long, now we're going to make it that long. Set my little Chris Reeves towel down. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's very easy to swap these around. I really appreciate how JK made that, you know, pretty easy to do, especially when you compare it to something like the Necron. The Necron, you know, like, they knew people would want to mod it, and they intentionally made it so that it's hard as shit to mod, and then it's not covered under warranty either. Like, I don't know what exactly JK will cover in all of this, but the fact that he makes it easy enough, like, yeah, he's probably not going to cover a stripped screw, and that's another thing. We need to get the JK, we need the black body screws on there too. Blackened body screws, please. But otherwise, you know, like the fact that I hit him up like, hey, dude, I'm going to need to get some black screws. Can we make that happen? And within 2 days, he had him up on the website. And, like, he would have just sold them to me direct, too, but he said he had gotten some requests for it. So, like, obviously it necessitated making a post. He also put the bits up there, too. So you can get the bits from him as well. I don't know. You're not going to get that from Benchmade. I'll tell you that. Wow, that looks snazzy. Woo! Sheesh. It might be the polished. That contrast just makes it look different. Yo, that contrast. Yeah, dog. Wowie zowie, going to Maui. Nice. All right, I'm going to have these on for a few days. I really like that contrast. That looks fucking cool. The contrast, though. Sick. All right, well, we've ended this video 3 or 4 times now. It's official. We're done. Blang, blang, blang. Gang, 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 gang.